Hello and welcome to Golden Hour Knitwear. My name is Camry and today we're going to talk about my spring/warm weather, because this is probably going to run into the summer, knitting plans. Alright, so today I have got a list of knitting projects that I want to share with you that I would like to work on this spring. Some of them will probably definitely roll into the summer, but I tried to keep it somewhat brief. Anyways. But I feel like in the spring, this also goes for the fall too, but I feel like in the spring, I'm not just thinking about the spring, I'm thinking about the spring and the summer. And so I've got a larger list of things to knit in the spring and summer than I do in the summer, because, you know, I'm working on stuff for the whole warm weather season starting now, but also still a couple like cooler weather things like cardigans and wraps and lighter sweaters. Though in the summer, I just work on warm weather stuff. I guess I start getting back into cardigans a little bit, but basically what I'm saying here is that this list, I have a hard time narrowing things down. So this list is spring and will probably most likely roll into the summer. But these are some of the more important things, I guess, that I want to get going on the needles pretty soon here. I've got one spinning project, one like wrap cardigan, and the rest are t-shirts and tank tops. And I have the yarn for most of these things. If not, I either need to dye the yarn, so I'll tell you what color I want to dye it and what base I'm going to use, or the yarn is on its way to me, in which case I'll pop up a picture on the screen. After making this list and looking at all the yarn, I realized that I really have a color type, I guess. I really lean towards the same colors, at least. Maybe it's just right now I'm feeling a lot of love towards these like 3 to 4 different colors or color families. But I think that's kind of normal, especially as we go into spring. We think bright, happy colors, neutral colors, stuff like that. And it's fun to think about the colors that we want to wear in each season. I didn't really do that much before I started knitting and dyeing yarn and thinking more about color. I kind of just wore whatever was warm when it was cold and wore whatever was cool when I was hot. So now it's fun to think about the colors, and you'll definitely see a color theme as we move along here. Let's just get into it, but I think before we get to the knitting projects, I'm just gonna hurry and go over the spinning project and get that one out of the way since it's kind of the oddball. I thought at the beginning of this year, I was kind of planning what I wanted to work on this year, and I really wanted to spin yarn for the Knit cardigan by PetiteKnit. I had my fiber all ready to go, and I was planning on doing that this summer, spinning up the yarn this spring, maybe start knitting it in the summer, because I know that's going to take me forever to spin the yarn and to knit the cardigan. I know that's a big one. So I was planning on starting that now so that I'd have that ready for the fall. But as I was looking more at the fiber that I had planned for it and other colors and seeing other people's Knit cardigans pop up on Instagram, I realized that maybe that's not the color that I wanted to do. I have a nice, rich, deep brown fiber that I wanted to spin up for the Knit cardigan, but I'm starting to second guess that. And I really don't know what I want to do now. I really don't know if I want to use that fiber or if I want to use a different fiber that I have, or if I just want to not spin the yarn for it and use regular yarn, commercially spun yarn instead, or something like that. So instead of force myself to figure that out right here, right now, I'm just going to move on to the next spinning project. And the next spinning project I had planned for this year was the Ingrid sweater, which is exciting. I'm going to use this BFL, I think it's just BFL fiber, in an oatmeal, a nice grayish oatmeal color, grayish. I think it's really, I don't know, it's a good oatmeal. It'll be nice and heathered. I am very excited. It's beautiful. It's so lofty and squishy. I absolutely love BFL. And I think it's going to be amazing for the Ingrid sweater because BFL is lofty and squishy, but kind of drapey, kind of lustrous. And I think it's going to be perfect for a thick, oversized cabled sweater. So I'm really excited for this. I'm not expecting to start knitting this in the spring or even the summer, but I definitely want to get going on the spin. I've had some fiber on my spinning wheel on my e-spinner for the last little while, but I haven't been doing a lot of spinning because I'm so unsure about what I want it to be, so I haven't spun it. And I miss spinning for the last couple weeks. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but I miss it. And so I think forcing myself to just pick a project and move on is making me feel better about that, so that I can get that bobbin off, get a new bobbin on, and just get going on spinning and enjoy it again. So moving forward onto more simple projects that I don't have to think so hard about, and just get going on it. I don't know for sure if I want to do a 2-ply or a 3-ply, or if I want to do a DK weight or a slightly heavier DK weight, because PetiteKnit actually has 2 patterns of this. There's the Ingrid sweater, and then there's the Ingrid sweater men's, I think. And I believe the women's version, or the original version, calls for worsted weight yarn, whereas the men's version calls for DK. But I know the DK weight yarn that she used in there is a slightly heavier DK. So I know I need to spin this to like a heavy DK / worsted weight. I don't plan on holding a mohair with it. So I think I definitely need to spin up a little sample, swatch with it, see where we're at to make sure things are lining up all right. Because I don't want to have to do I don't want to have to do a lot of math or like grading on this pattern if the yarn doesn't work out. Like if it's not the right thickness, I don't want to have to rework the sweater pattern to work. And I really want to use this for that pattern. So I think I'll spin up a little sample, knit the swatch, and then go from there. Now that the spinning is out of the way, I might do some other little random spins here and there. In fact, I think I know I will, but that's my main spinning plan for this spring season. Next up, I want to talk about light sweaters and wraps that I want to get to that are lighter and not so warm for the winter, but spring can get cold, and things that I really wanted to knit in the winter, but didn't necessarily have the time for. So I have one wrap and one fingering weight sweater. I think let's just start with the sweater, because I've mentioned this in the last podcast, or maybe 2 podcasts. I don't know, but I've swatched for it. I'm ready to go. I just need to cast it on. I've just been lacking time lately. I have 0 time on my hands, with a lot of pattern writing and test call organizing and dyeing to do. But I am prepared and ready to go to knit the Pohjola? I think I'm going to say Pohjola. The Pohjola sweater by Sari Nordlund. This is my swatch. This is also causing me to hesitate casting on. I don't love the contrast between the main color and this is beige right here. You can kind of sort of see it. I think they're slightly too low contrast. Right here they seem okay, but in the swatch, and if you like, a good trick, take a picture of your yarn that you choose to use in a striped or colorwork sweater or something like that, or socks, whatever project it is. Take a picture of it, turn it black and white, and if there's not any contrast between the colors in black and white, you're not going to see the contrast in your knitting. You can't see very much difference between these two when they're knit together or when they're in black and white or whatever. So part of me is like, oh, it's low contrast. That's kind of the vibe. Maybe I'll just keep going. But there's a knit along going on for this right now. A lot of people are knitting this right now, and I'm seeing all the fun color combinations pop up. And now I'm considering I was already considering dyeing this a slightly darker color, just popping it in a pan with, a tiny bit of brown just to make it a little bit darker. Hey, Twigget. But now I'm considering dyeing it like a light blue, which would be hard to get this brown to a light blue. It wouldn't be that hard because it's already a pretty light color, but it would be a very light or a very warm blue, which is kind of weird. But I could make this my main color and dye this a light blue. Like a very light gray blue. Or like a purple would be really fun. Ooh, actually, I might do purple. That would be a lot of fun. So I just have those things to consider. I need to just sit down, figure it out, play around with some color palettes. That purple idea is making me happy. I've been loving purple lately. But I just need to sit down, play around with some color, make the decision, dye the yarn so that I can cast it on and not stop worrying about it, because I really want to get working on this. I love this yarn. This is Sonder Yarn Co. Their fingering weight BFL mash and base. I love it. It is beautiful. I love this yellow. It's beautiful. And it's just the contrast between these two that's given me a little bit of a ugh. So I think I'm going to take one of them and dye it like a light purple or a light blue, just to give me a little bit more contrast and to make it a little bit more fun. So I need to hurry and do that so that I have time to work on it. I want to cast it on and get it done quick before it gets super hot so that I can enjoy wearing it. I know that's a sweater, and I expect it to be kind of warm because of the way the yarn is spun and just the nature of that fiber, but it's a fingering weight sweater, and so I think it'll be a little bit more wearable, especially if I'm able to finish it up fairly quickly. But I just really want to work on it. That's just one of those projects that I love, one of those designs that I absolutely love and really want to work on for me. So, and I could use more knitting like that. Knitting that's just for me and not for anybody else. So I really, really want to get going on that one. I just gotta dye that yarn and fix it. Not fix it. It's beautiful yarn. It's a beautiful shade. Just for my tastes, I would like it to be slightly different. All right, next up is the wrap that I was telling you about, and that is, let me see, the Zosia wrap. I think that's how you say that. I actually didn't know that this wrap, it's the Zosia wrap cardigan. I didn't actually know that this existed until like a week ago. Somebody shared it on their stories, and I happened to see it, and I think it's absolutely flippin' gorgeous. It's so pretty. I absolutely love it, and I need it. I just need to figure out how to wear it. I think it's beautiful. Like wrap cardigans like that are beautiful over dresses. I just don't wear a lot of dresses. So I'm trying to figure out how to wear it with jeans because that's what I wear. So I was holding off planning to knit it. I just had it in my favorites on Ravelry and just swimming in the back of my brain. But, you know, until I could figure out how I would wear it and then I would be more comfortable casting on. But now my mom's getting married, so I have an excuse. I have a dress picked out and everything, and I need to wear a wrap or something over, or a cardigan or something over it, because it's sleeveless, it's gonna be in April, and it's chilly. It's gonna be pretty chilly. So I'm just gonna knit up a little beautiful, beautiful little wrap. And this is the yarn I'm gonna use. This might not be the exact color. This is the base. I have different plans for this yarn, but basically just white. Just a white wrap to go over my pink dress because those are the colors. Is blush, like a light pink, and it'll be really pretty. But so I'm super excited. I only have like 5 weeks to knit that sucker up, and it's knit in Sari weight held, or it's knit in lace weight held single. But I think it's a relatively loose and open gauge. I think it'll go pretty quick. I don't necessarily look at weight when I figure out how long it's going to take me to knit something. I look at the yardage, and I have knit that much yardage pretty quick before. I mean, I just have to prioritize it. There's a lot going on right now with dyeing yarn and test knitting and stuff like that, but I have to knit this. I have to knit this in time. So this is going to be prioritized. This is absolutely getting done this summer or this spring, unless, I mean, worst comes to worst, I could go find a cardigan to purchase and just wear that, but I would much rather wear something, this. I would much rather wear this. Not that the thing that I would purchase would be, I don't know. There's still beautiful things out there to purchase, and I have no problem purchasing knitwear. I have no problem, you know, I just feel like I've just come to really, really appreciate the whole process of knitting, not just the process of knitting, but the process of creating your own clothing. I've actually been really tempted to start sewing because I just love being able to pick the colors and the fibers and the fit and the style. Like you pick literally everything about the item of clothing that you're making, and I think that is so neat. So I much prefer to make this wrap than purchase a cardigan, so I gotta get going on it. So I guess that's kind of unofficial spring plans. I might start sewing. I've been tempted. I know how to sew. I've like very loosely tailored my clothing in the past. But yeah, I'm interested in sewing. So I might do that this spring, but we will see if there's time. Okay, on to t-shirts. I want to knit the Luna tee by Charissa. I have loved this forever. As soon as I saw it, like a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was like, whoa, that is gorgeous. I absolutely need to knit that. And my goal for this year, I explained at the beginning of this year in my 2024 knitting plans, is that I want to do better at knitting the things that I absolutely love and want to knit rather than just knitting whatever I can get my hands on. And so the goal is to take the dream knits and actually knit them, right? So this is one of them. The Luna Tee is one of them. It's time to get it off the to knit list and just knit it so that I can have it. This thing is beautiful. It's in broken rib all over, I believe. I think it's a raglan, and it has these beautiful deep raglans that then go into the body. I think it's a gorgeous detail. I love it. It's beautiful. It's rather fitted, which I think when I started getting really, really into garment knitting, I kind of started knitting a lot of oversized stuff where normally in real life, I tend to wear more fitted things, if I'm being honest. I mean, in the winter, I do wear more loose, baggy stuff, but I do love a good 2 inches of positive ease or like a nice fitted t-shirt. So I really want to get into that a little bit more and lean into that some more and get back to like my style and not just knitting big chunky sweaters. So I'm excited about that. And this is one of them. I don't know how much, I think it's got negative ease based on how it fits. So yes, this one is designed to be worn with 0 to 2 inches of negative ease, which I have knit fitted stuff before. I need more things like that. And so this is gonna be one of them. This is the exact yarn that I'm gonna use. I have more of it, but this is a 50% Pima cotton, 50% superwash merino wool, fine superwash merino wool. It is very soft and I absolutely love it. I have knit with it a little bit to get a feel for it. I am using it in my Elise tee, if you saw that in my last podcast episode. It should be finished for the next podcast episode, but it's a big week, so we'll see if I can get to everything on the to-do list. Anyways, this one, and I love the yarn. That's end of story. I love the yarn. And so I'm getting to know it a little bit better with this as well as a fitted garment rather than slightly oversized garment. And so I'm excited to see how it behaves as a cotton and non-superwash wool, to see how it behaves as a fitted garment. But I love the color. It's a nice cream white, warm, creamy white color. That's the best way to explain it, I guess. I think it looks so good. I'm so excited. Nice and classy. I'm so excited. Okay, the next t-shirt on the list is the Moon Set Tee by Ozetta. I don't have the yarn for this one yet, though I have ordered it. I ordered it as part of a pre-order from Fuzzy Peach Fibers Joshua Tree collection. So this one will come late spring, maybe even the early summer, I believe. I don't remember what the turnaround time for that one is, but I'm not expecting it anytime soon. I ordered the Sun-Baked color, I believe is what it was called, on her Joy base, which is a 50% alpaca, 25% linen, 25% silk. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to knit that t-shirt out of that fiber blend because it's going to be so drapey and just so soft and so nice. I have never worn that blend as a t-shirt for long periods of time. I have knit with that base. I did a sample knit for her, for Inga of Fuzzy Peach Fibers, in that base. And I loved the experience. I loved the finished object. I did try it on 1 or 2 times just to make sure things were correct while I was knitting it so that I could turn in a nice sample for her. But I'm just excited. It's going to be so nice and drapey and soft and just amazing to wear and to knit with. I'm so excited. I'm also absolutely in love with that color. I've been just dreaming about that color in the last couple, like month or two maybe. It's one that I'm very excited about for the spring. It's a nice terracotta color, like pinkish, reddish, brownish, all somewhere in that zone. I'm very excited about that color this summer. And I hope to knit more with that color and just bring that color out somewhere and use it up. Hey, buddy. So I'm very excited for that one. I hope to be able to just cast that on as soon as the yarn gets here because I'm very excited. I love V-necks. I love wearing V-necks. And I love the Moon Set Tee. I think it's got a very nice classic I think it's a double knit collar, and I think it's beautiful. I am very excited. Okay, next is an in-between project. I don't know for sure if it's going to be a t-shirt or a tank top or if it's going to exist. I just really want, it's more of a color. I just really want to knit some kind of t-shirt or tank top. I don't really know for sure, but the color, I'll try to find something to put up here, but the color is the red that everybody's been dying over lately. I don't know if it's everybody in the world, but I swear everybody in the knitting world has been absolutely losing their mind over this red color that is ever so slightly on the orange side. It's just this bright, not blood, I don't know, it's just red, like red. And I'm not normally like a bright red person or a bright anything person unless it's yellow. But, oh, it's been shown so many times that I'm just so intrigued by it. And my husband and I are rewatching Friends right now, and Monica wore that color, you know, in a sweater the other day, and every now and then it just pops up and I'm like, that's such a good color, and it just suits them so well. It's such a good color. It's a bright, bold one, but it's such a good one, and everybody looks so good in it. So I'm thinking that I need to take this base, that I told you about earlier, the 50% Pima cotton, 50% non-superwash, superwash merino, figure out how to, you know, come up with a good dye recipe for that good red color, bright red, and come up with something to knit with it. I've got maybe 1 or 2 designs in mind for it, but if I don't design with it, then, I mean, I don't have to do just one project with it. I can do as many as I want with it. So if I don't decide to knit something out of my own brain, then it would either be the Mio Mai tee by Park Williams or some kind of tank top. I don't really know. But I'm really loving the idea of this Mio Mai tee by Park Williams. It is a DK weight t-shirt and it's quite fitted. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but, and if I do choose to use this, I would have to hold it double. And I don't know for sure if that would meet gauge, if that would be too thick, because 2 fingering weights held together seems to be a little bit thicker than a DK weight yarn. So I might have to look around at other bases. I do know that there's a lot of other bases out there or soon to be coming out that are a cotton merino blend that would be a great option in a DK weight yarn. So I might look into those, but I'm excited about this one. I love that it's nice and fitted. It's somewhat cropped. I mean, obviously you can knit that as long as you want. I'd probably knit a little bit longer for myself to cover up my tummy. But I love the sleeve construction. I think those are inset sleeves. It looks so nice and flattering. And it looks almost like the body of the t-shirt is unfinished. So it's kind of just this cool, unfinished, cropped look. And then the the ribbing on the neck and on the sleeves are just ribbing. And I love a good t-shirt with good ribbing. Funny, I don't love I-cord edging. Depends on what it is, obviously. But for a t-shirt, I really, really love, especially if it's just stockinette, I really just love ribbing for a t-shirt, or a folded hem, or like a folded sewn hem, or a double folded hem. So I just really love this. I think it's beautiful. So I'm excited I really want to knit this. I think this would be really cute in that bright red, orange, it's red, but in some lighting, you can see it leans a little orange. Anyways, I think this would be super cute in that color. Okay, and as far as tank tops go, I only have 2 planned right now, though I would like to add more to my wardrobe, but the 2 that I have planned, one of them is a design, so I can't really explain what it's gonna be, but I hope to cast this on soon. I'm not gonna push myself with this one. I think I'm gonna take a little breather on designing and pattern writing for a little bit because I've been pushing it a lot in the last little bit. But so maybe this one will come out in July if I can get it done on time. But this is the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino. I've never knit with this, so I'm very excited. And this is the color Dark Ochre. It's a nice like yellow brown color. I don't know, maybe there's a touch of green in there as well. Like I said at the beginning, I have a color type. You've noticed there's a lot of whites and beiges and yellows and reds. So here we are. But I think this one's really fun. I am planning on a camisole. Apparently there's different names for the different types of tank tops out there. The one that's got straps and then is like the triangles and like a V-neck kind of, oops. The triangles and turns into kind of a V-neck and then it's the body. That's what I'm planning on, but with texture, a little bit of texture on the body. So I'm excited about that. I'm worried about getting the fit nice. I know I can make it fit nicely for myself because I have my exact measurements, but I'm worried about the fit across all sizes and making it nice and size inclusive, not just grading it to all sizes, but making it fit all sizes. So I'm worried about that, but I'll do lots of research and figure some stuff out and see how to make that work. But okay, and the last one is the Strawberry Fields top by Camille K. I'm planning on knitting that one in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Putty. Yeah, in Putty. I think this is the color she used. I can't remember for sure, but it's a beautiful little tank top. I'm excited to have it. And I love the way she styled it. She has it with some funky shorts, or maybe it's a skirt. I don't know for sure. I think it's so much fun. And so I'm excited to be able to wear some kind of fun shorts or pants or whatever with this tank top this summer and kind of mess around with that. This one is not size inclusive. I think it goes up to, let's see. It only goes up to a 43, 44 inch bust, which is, you know, kind of stinky. So keep that in mind. Okay, I believe that is all for today. I've got a lot of other spring and summer projects planned, but I probably already listed too many, planned too many. I'm pretty excited about spring and summer knitting this year. Last year, I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I think some of my earlier episodes that were towards the end of the summer last year, I mentioned that I teach piano, but the room that I teach piano in is absolutely freezing. I mean, it's not absolutely freezing, but it gets pretty cold in there. And so having cardigans and wraps will be really nice. So I'm excited to, you know, have a light sweater to work on this spring, to have that wrap to work on this spring, to have a couple of fun t-shirts and tank tops. I'm really excited about the colors and the textures and the fibers that I have planned for the spring. So, like I said, that is all. But there's more. These are just the more important ones that I want to prioritize. We'll see if I can do it because, again, I tend to knit whatever I can get my hands on. I already know that I want to knit a second sample of the Hazy Stripe sweater in a variegated yarn, and or variegated stripes anyways. I've got a sample knit that I'm working on, and a busy dye schedule, and two socks going that I really need to work on. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I'll get to all of these, but I really, really want to start trying to prioritize the things that I really want to make rather than just knitting what I have to knit or knitting, you know, whatever I can get my hands on. So we'll see how many of these I can knock out in the next couple months or until even fall starts. So, all right, that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comments if you have any plans similar to mine, and let me know what colors you're planning on knitting all of your things in. I'm excited to hear about all of the colors and all the projects and stuff like that. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe. Especially don't forget to hit the notification bell because I've got exciting podcast episode coming up next week. Hopefully there will be a test call for the Elise tee, so you don't want to miss that, to announce my next hand-dyed yarn collection theme. And I'm hoping to get a lot of good knitting time this week. So hopefully I have some fun progress on the projects that I've got going right now. And hopefully some of these projects that I talked today are going to be swatched or on the needles because I gotta get them done. All right, thank you for watching as always. Thanks for sticking with me. Until next week, I hope you have a great week and enjoy all of your creative time, your making time, whatever it is that you've been working on lately. And I will see you next time. Thanks. See ya.